refresh that real fast. Hello everyone, Lumi here, and today is a special stream as we are doing a interview with the group from Dimension Chasers. Starting from the far left, we have Sagril from Cafe d'Arcadia. Introduce yourself, Sagril.
Hi, I'm Sagril from the Cafe d'Arcadia. I'm one of the two owners of the Cafe d'Arcadia, and I play Elfdane over on Dimension Chasers with my friends here.
Next up, hiding behind the couch there, is Connor. Introduce yourself,
Hi,
Connor.
everyone. Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Connor. I'm not a VTuber or anything. I'm a good friend of everyone here, and I play Quinn from Dimension Chasers. I am from the Void. You cannot find me anywhere.
He's one with the void. He hides. And right on the right of Connor is now Celestine. Take it away.
Hello. I suppose I should introduce myself then?
Yes, please do so.
Hi, my name is Nell Celestine. I'm a rogue indie VTuber. I mostly play a lot of retro games, tabletop, JRPGs, all that jazz. I have a couple of reoccurring series, but I play LA, aka AME or Amy for short, in Dimension Chasers.
And last but not least, the GM of the Dimension Chasers game. Introduce yourself, Blaze.
Yes, I am Blaze409. I'm the DM for Dimension Chasers and for Cloudbreaker Alliance Team Derp, both of which are on Nell's Twitch channel and her YouTube. I'm not like a VTuber or anything like that. I just kind of like doing this stuff.
Thank you guys for the introductions. And I'm the Pixie host for tonight, because if I tried to use my VTuber model, it'd go full potato.
Oh no.
It's true. We're eating up most of his computer's power right now.
Yeah.
That's most of that is just me because I'm trying to communicate interdimensionally.
Yeah. How's that working out for you, actually?
Not too bad usually.
Yeah, we're not in like a weird time zone situation where it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, right?
No, the time zones are pretty well matched up. I think it's closest to Mountain Standard in your universe.
Oh, how convenient. So that should be EST, huh?
Huh?
All
Well,
right.
Mountain's different than EST.
No, I'm saying then for me it would be like I'm EST compared to that.
Oh, okay.
I know this joke has gone on long enough.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Sorry.
Just a smidgy.
Anyway, welcome, Chasers, to the hidden spot of the food truck.
I was told there would be punch and pie.
Oh, they can. I got food here. Just do an order up, and I'll give you the selection we got. But yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. It's good to have you all here. And I figured since you guys just hit episode 9, and we're just before episode 10 hits, I figured we'd do a good behind the scenes of how things have gone so far. So,
I mean, things have gone happening.
Things are definitely happening.
I believe the term that would best describe one of the things that happened most with Elfdane over here is everybody just liked that.
Secret normal, all fouled up.
I was thinking of more along the lines of choo-choo train wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Is there anything you want us to start with or talk about first, or?
I do have some questions for each of you. So,
Oh.
Oh.
I didn't know there would be a test.
so the first thing is, first victim says what?
What?
Okay, Connor, so you're gonna be the first victim.
Why did that actually get me?
Did I actually get you, or did you just do it to volunteer? I'm not sure if I should be impressed or disappointed.
Listen, on my end,
Yes.
Lumi is faintly cutting out. on my end. So when I heard like first I was like, this is what I'm like, what? Because I was asking like, what did you say?
I said first victim says what?
I know.
Well, first victim.
Well, I'm a victim. All right, like most things.
So, Connor, what were you thinking of when you first decided to create your character?
First making Quinn. I guess one of the main things I was thinking about is since it was just the three, with everyone else being just a 3-member party, I definitely wanted him to stand out as much as possible, but also I did not want to be a situation where I ended up designing him to be the protagonist of the story at all. I don't like doing that for any TTRPG. So that was mainly the thing I was trying to think of. I want him to be, on equal footing with everyone else.
That is a
I
very
also
good.
want him
That is a very good mindset to have when making a character.
definitely do not want to end up as a TTRPG horror story.
Oh my goodness.
That is no joke when I say that.
Whew. I can't, like, I legitimately could not talk about the worst one I've had. It would get, I can't
get
talk
messy?
about it. No, it might get Lumi here in trouble with Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's not.
Yeah,
that's not-
as much as I like dark stories, Darker Than the Night Sky, I kind of don't want to get TTS'd.
Same.
No.
I just got here. I don't want to be gone already.
Well, good night, everybody.
But yeah,
Also, Lumi, I
Sorry.
do hope you use this set again because this looks really good on here.
I'm,
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
it looks
I love it.
awesome.
the funny thing is, I was gonna ask you, since you did make this entire overlay now, would it be alright if I keep using it for future interview stuff?
Is my logo on the front of this desk or is yours?
You're the one who put the time and effort into it. I'm making sure.
Is my logo on the front of this desk or is yours?
If I could interject, I see no logo on the desk, though.
Yeah, there is. Is look at it. There's a logo on the cup, and then there's his name and everything underneath.
Okay, if that you count as a logo, then fair enough.
Yeah,
This is logo.
I'm just one of those guys that like to double check with everything, keep everything fun and fair.
I was gonna put late night, but then I was like, wait a minute, it's not late night.
But yeah, for all this overlay y'all seen, it was done by Nell Celestine here. She put a lot of work into it. So
I like making things look nice.
You really do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dimension Chasers alone is fact enough of how much, like, Nell's graphic design knowledge just helps carry the presentation.
I mean, I let her use the kitchen, and she makes a whole full course meal.
Yeah,
That's a good description of Nell's skill set.
I think that was. I think I actually came up with that joke. We asked for a snack for Nell, and then she's cooking an entire meal with appetizers.
Oh yeah. Alright, Frey, thanks. Hope you have a good look and have a good time eating your dinner.
Yeah.
So
Did you get a Luma burger?
Oh, got her.
Welcome to
A Luma burger.
Home of the Lumi burger. How can I take your order?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna give it a good free treat here. So
I can't believe I haven't followed you. I'm just gonna fix that.
Yeah, I just did that.
Followed Lumi?
I thought I did.
nope.
He's never streamed at the same time as I have.
Whoops.
Well, that's an oops. That's easily fixed.
This is true.
And
That
there
is
we
a
go.
hamburger.
Burger and fries on the couch.
Huzzah!
Sweet. Munchies.
But yeah, one more question for you, Connor.
Hit me.
So
Yeah, let me get the bat.
No. Stop that.
So, where did you come up with the idea for your character's deck?
Okay, so it was probably like I'm a huge fan of Eastern cultures, and I was definitely trying to think of something fun for Blaze to use in the world. And one of the ideas was like, well, if I make my own thing, sure, I would have to carry a lot of it, and I'm not sure how comfortable would Blaze be doing that. I just didn't know how he would feel about like if I did my whole own thing in just design. So I tried to pull it from something that's like inspirational that you can pull from other sources. And eventually, being the huge early 2000s anime nerd I am, I pulled from the Four Auspicious Beasts as visual cues in design. And interesting, I wanted to mention when I was designing mechanically how the deck worked. My initial idea was I wanted to do something similar with like teamwork with what Nell did, because my whole idea is, oh, you make up like a constellation night sky, each one playing a part, so each one would have its own unique effect, so you're attacked with more or less a massive constellation than itty bitty celestial bodies. But then Nell took that gimmick, and I'm like, crap, all right, time to pivot to something else, which became the whole milling thing that just kind of is the Auspicious Beast. I wanted to be different.
It all came out
So,
really
yeah.
good. And
Yeah, I have to say, I really like his deck because it's got some really cool effects.
Oh, thank you.
His effects are interesting to me, just
Yeah.
on a conceptual term, because the cost are attributed to it.
Yeah. One major thing when designing this, we tried our best to avoid Tier Lament Ishizu so hard, and it is very hard to.
I believe it. And hey, Faye,
Sorry about
thanks for subscribing. So I was gonna have
Alright.
everyone having fun. Now then,
Apologies about that. Lorelai was in the background sneezing.
Because
Hey,
All good?
all right. So time to see who gets the questions next. How about Hey, chat. I'm gonna let you pick who gets questioned next. What do you say? Is it gonna be Sagro, Nell, or Blaze? I'm gonna leave it up to chat to decide the fate.
All I can imagine is the office standoff. All of a sudden, all of us pointing our fingers at each other.
Hey, Saggle, that's not fair!
Can I just say that, I mean, looking at this now, this feels more like pick your starter because we have blue, red, and green.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh
It
my
occurred to my
god.
mind earlier, like this week. I'm like,
Oh jeez.
Sagral's blue.
Oh, so I'm
Nell's
the superior choice in all in every
No.
version of the game.
Overrated choice, okay?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I have to side. I have to side with Blaze on this one. Bulbasaur is my favorite Gen 1.
Well,
My favorite starter of all time, if you couldn't tell from my profile picture or all the art I've commissioned of it, is Chikorita.
oh, I noticed.
You know, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, I like Torterra. Okay, I enjoyed Turtwig becoming Torterra,
If you
but you have to admit, to Pig Boss.
fair.
I'm just gonna sit quietly over here with my Bulbasaur starter.
All right, so
I like Mudkip.
Chad's got us down to tie between Blaze and Nell.
Oh no. Maybe
Uh-oh.
I should open my mouth. Oh no.
And you know what? Nell, you're it.
Dang it! All right, sure, why not?
All right, now, question is gonna be, what was going through your mind when you came up with Amy?
When I came up with Ellie/Amy, I wanted to basically. I started with deck design first, mostly because I wanted the other two to come up with characters. Because my plan, and Blaze can confirm this, was I didn't want to be the protagonist because I didn't want to be the center of attention for the show. Because I'm going to be honest, I tend to do that sometimes.
Sometimes.
I tend to steal the spotlight unintentionally. Sometimes I'm looking at both of my characters from Cloudbreaker Alliance.
Sometimes she says.
Sometimes.
Look, I'm trying not to. Okay.
Currently, you're 3 for 3 at games I've run.
But the whole point was I built the deck 1st, and then I built the character. Going, okay, well, I don't want to be the protag, and at that time, I was like, well, I like the concept of the rogue because the whole being able to play additional abilities, having extra cards, and the whole strategy aspect of it. So that's why I meant that, and it allowed for someone else to play a Resolve or Destined or something. And these two decided, no, now you're going to be the protagonist of the series. You're going to be our Yusei.
Oh my goodness.
If I could at least...
Okay. In my defense, I have the same problem as Nell. When I make characters, if I'm playing a character in a game, I sometimes get main character syndrome because either the rest of the players don't want to take enough action or I'm way too decisive.
For me, it's a situation of just... Also, I'm not sure if Sagrel, your mic cut out, but for me, it's just a situation of I don't want to take up center of attention always, so I always just try to like push other people ahead. But I want to say I think all of us did a pretty good job with like our roles for like each other, because I don't feel like we all have very big moments. Maybe some more than others, but we all have very big moments that are highlights of it.
Yes, and I have to thank Blaze for that. And I know he and I sit down a lot and we chat and plan out concepts and ideas for a lot of this stuff. Because while I am not the dungeon master, I am technically the show host. So he and I have to relay a lot of ideas and concepts back and forth and a lot of production notes. So, like, music, I don't always have everything, obviously, because he has to keep some stuff secret. Same with location tiles and whatnot. But a lot of stuff that he had to step away for a second. But a lot of stuff I have to help prepare in advance for the games. So between the two of us, we plan out a lot of the content. So character-wise, I've sidetracked. Let me go back. So character-wise for Ellie, once we had come up with the idea of her deck, and I discovered that I was going to be forced to become the protagonist, I was like, well, if I'm essentially the centerpiece, we want the game to be understandable by people. The best way to do that is to have a showcase deck. So I made Ellie have a deck that was pretty beefy, but not too beefy. I mean, I got hit by a few nerf hammers, but the concept of her is essentially a veteran in the game universe that has essentially come back out of retirement, similar to myself in Yu-Gi-Oh, where I played competitively for a long time and then fell out of the game and came back with Master Duel. So I applied that to Ellie and just built her deck to be more of a showcase style for like keywords and concepts, and then I threw the two most feared things from two of the most feared card games into one deck.
Alright, so before the next questions, you guys can hear the background music now, right?
I have it just playing on my own end.
Yeah, it's playing for me.
Okay.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I went and loaded it up over on Lumi stream. I can hear it.
Oh, on the stream. I'm pretty sure I can hear it then.
Okay,
Oh,
as
yeah,
long as
on
you...
the stream.
Okay.
On the stream, I hear it.
Actually, the stream's a little loud. The music's a little loud, I think.
How about now?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, so before I continue on with the question, I have a side question for you, Blaze.
Oh.
Just how many Nerf hammers were dropped?
Oh, jeez. So, first Nerf hammer was actually during the first ever playtest of the Azure Star and Armored Maiden decks.
we should clarify for Nerf hammers only before the first episode.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a little
okay.
bit easier that way.
Okay, in that case. So yeah, that was the first major Nerf hammer. Because Nell's deck I was a lot more cautious than I currently am. I'm probably not cautious enough now that I think about it.
No, you're
But
pretty cautious still.
No. Some of the stuff you guys can do with your decks, no, I'm not cautious enough. But so the original Azure Stars versus the original Armored Maidens, the original Azure Stars was unbelievably strong.
Oh my.
It was
Was.
so powerful. Like pretty much every single Azure Star, other than Siryu, had a completely different effect, and those effects were a hell of a lot stronger.
I have actually a few of the old ones saved still.
Oh wow, we might be able to look at those later. But so after that, pretty much Nell was like, "I can't win this. This is unwinnable."
It got to essentially a lockdown where I could not get anything out onto the board to topple anything he had. But he is at the point where he couldn't defeat me because I kept bringing stuff out to prevent him from attacking me directly.
Well, hold on. I remember what exactly happened because Siryu had a different effect than the one you would see in the actual life.
Yes.
Siryu originally had a restriction to where if Siryu was on the field, I couldn't attack with any other warriors except for Auspicious Beasts. I still don't have any other Auspicious Beasts, and we quickly learned the fact of, wow, with only one attack per turn, I can't kill anybody, so the game just stops.
So in short, it was basically, I'm gonna stop the game. No, I'm gonna stop the game. No, I'm gonna stop the game. And then Blaze just says, no, I'm ending it.
Yeah. And in hindsight, that's not fun to play.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We tried. I think it was like, 15 minutes of us going back and forth just testing to see if either one of us could get the advantage.
Something like that, yeah. It was insane.
Yeah.
Again, I was a little bit too cautious with card effects back then. I'm probably not cautious enough now, but yeah.
But a lot of the card text right now is flavorful, and if it needs to be nerfed, we nerf it after the fact.
Yeah. I think the term we used for it was live updates.
Yes.
So
Because
in universe, what's happening? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, with the lore of the universe being that we're playing mostly a VR MMO game. By the way, you should totally play it. Read my hoodie.
Drink.
But the idea is that live updates, the game erratas the cards in response to unintended interaction, which is our in-universe way of saying, shit, we need to fix these cards.
Yeah. For example, I used to have, because I'm still looking at some of these staples that I just need to quickly specify. You don't make staples in the game. There's like a select list of staples you can pick from, and your playbook specific staple. And I picked up a staple that was you draw 2 from your deck and you place 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck. And we had to nerf that, and it's still nerfed. And then I find it funny how, like, 2 levels later, Elfdane gets a feature that picks from another playbook, which is another staple, being draw 2, place 1 on bottom of deck.
I will say my defense on that again. Wow, I have to keep saying my defense on this one. I was looking at how the abilities worked, and then I looked at this and I went, Blaze, this is a base card for a playbook. Why did we nerf counters again?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
so right now, Sagro, I'm gonna assign you the class of Defender, since you have to keep defending yourself.
I mean, that's kind of how I've played a lot of the games where it's been multiplayers. I've been the defender.
So regarding nerfs, I think deck-wise, Connor here had the largest amount of nerfs because his entire deck got hammered.
Yeah.
But I have a single card that has the single most amount of nerfs on it.
I'd say changes.
I'm concerned about the number.
I think we went through, 7 revisions on that card?
Which one? Oddly appropriate.
That was the Tacticus Defense Stratagem.
Oh my god, that card is so good.
Oh my!
It is the bane of bane of the game, basically.
So it existed, and I'm like, this is fine. It costs a health. She can't heal herself. Now she can, but she couldn't heal herself back then. And then I'm like, this is fine. And then she could just you can search it super easily too. When I think about it, but
I've only searched it. I think I've only searched it in one game.
You searched it twice, total blackplay.
So what is it? It's it originally just it kind of existed, and then it got nerfed to where it could only destroy stuff that whatever attacked you. And then it got nerfed by this is a little behind the screen thing. I nerfed it by saying you can't. No. Originally it was always in your side deck, and you would side deck into it whenever you needed it.
Yeah.
And then I nerfed it by saying it can no longer be in your side deck. It has to be in your main deck.
Yeah, and then I was able to draw it out in that one duel.
God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And then the other time I played it, I actually hard drew it. So that was me just getting really lucky.
So in short,
It was exactly what you needed when you needed it.
A
Yeah.
perfect draw, if you will.
ironic.
So
Apparently so.
I'm just gonna say something real quick to the audience, real quick,
Go for it.
because I believe it's Faye. I think that's how Faye. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Yes, I agree. It's more important for the party to have stuff that they think is good. The only reason I really nerf things at all is I want to be able to present a challenge and have obstacles for them to overcome to feel awesome.
It's no fun when it's an easy win.
Exactly. So that's where a lot of me. That's where a lot of my issues with their decks being as strong as they are sometimes is I don't want it to be too easy for them. So I make sure to have make sure it is at least a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say, I'm surprised how long you let Awatatsumi stay at its current power, because
Connor, I swear to God.
we nerfed it.
Well, yeah, that's something that hasn't happened on stream yet. But yes, that's a little behind the scenes stuff. Awatasumi's getting nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's just not going to be a possible full turn OTK before life opponent.
Alright, so basically in short what I've heard so far is Blaze just being that one character in a burning house, drinking coffee, going this is fine. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for answering that side question, Blaze.
No problem at all.
And we're going back to you now, because the question, the next question is, what were you thinking of when you decided to make the Armor Maidens?
Again, it was going to be a showcase style deck where we could create a bunch of different cool, unique keywords, because we all thought keywords were super cool. So I came up with a bunch of different Armored Maidens with different keywords. And I was like, this is great, but they don't synergize well. I know. Armored Maidens is essentially Sky Strikers meets Slivers.
Oh my god. I get that
The
reference
magical
too.
gathering player in me died when I first saw Nell's deck behind the scenes, and I'm sitting here going, this is going to be a problem.
Oh my god.
Yes, Lumi, that's exactly what her deck design is. It's Sky Strikers for the Mecha Musume and the ability to get what she needs and draw power out of her deck. but slivers in the fact that it's able to boost. They're able to boost each other's abilities and skills.
And yeah, when you first showed me the cards, there you decided to go. Oh, I'm gonna make them all extra shiny. The whole deck.
Look, when we first started making the cards, okay, we all had the generic style, and then Ellie's background came into play, and I was like, I want to try to go a little bit more hardcore with the deck. I want to try experimenting, to see if I can make something slightly cooler, and that's when we came up with the ace cards being animated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I want to go a step farther, and I animated her entire deck. And I was like, I want to go a step farther, and then I went and made full art versions of the cards.
And then my PC started screaming.
And every time I do this, Connor's PC dies a little bit more inside.
Yeah, just as a heads up for everyone, I'm doing this all in one from 2018.
He's got a Papoto. He's got a Papoto PC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So it is.
Thank you.
We might have to do a charity drive or something to get you a new computer.
Oh, don't worry. I'm planning on getting one over the summer, past my birthday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I hope.
But
if not, we're gonna do a charity drive and get you a computer.
God, I wish people would allow me to do that. Not going into that. Moving on.
aside from all the good vibes coming from y'all, helping and supporting each other, thanks for answering the question.
Well, you can use it for school too, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sagrel, you're next.
Suffer.
Which one do you want me to answer first?
Character creation. How'd you come up with the character? And Velvet Cout.
Okay, so
Wait, is that
to start
code?
this off,
Yeah.
I am a big mythology and history buff. I love I love history. I love weapons. I love lore. I love all that really cool stuff. I'm a Fae VTuber as well, so it helps with a little bit of that, right? So Elfdean being a teacher, I first was looking through the classes and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try a rogue. Nell's a rogue already. Fuck.
You should have known better.
I will say the thing is like, you don't just necessarily think, okay, she's gonna be the rogue class because it's not like a typical rogue. So I was like, okay, the rogue seems really cool. Not gonna happen. Okay.
I stole Ghost Girl from you. Suck on that.
Oh my god.
So what ended up then happening, I was looking through the class and I'm like, I want to play a little bit more of a supportive team-based role, right? And that's where Ally comes in. Ally gets a lot of abilities that say, add to your friends' roles if you're in a duel and they're not, or they're in a duel and I'm not. So it helps boost their roles when I'm either in the spotlight or when I'm not in the spotlight. So it's useful for that main reason. And then also I can borrow from other people's abilities with Tradebinder, which last episode I did a little bit of that, and it's really nice now. So I can borrow gimmicks, at least for one card, from other people. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna build this, the supportive character. I'm gonna build this character that's gonna be kind of a mentor-esque character, kind of the not quite grandpa, not quite grandpa from original Yu-Gi-Oh, but the older character of wisdom, right? And wisdom and knowledge. So, okay, he's now a teacher, he teaches mythology and stuff, so I can use all of my mythology knowledge in a game finally, right?
Yeah.
And then I started looking at what we needed, and I'm like, how am I going to give him ability to grow as a character? And that's where our lovely problem with flaws came in.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, I kind of chose to make him a teacher, to not only use my knowledge in game, but also give him he wants to help people learn, so things that happen to him don't happen to others. Well, I also made him where he's a teacher. He's not been big into games. He's been too focused on other things. So he's a new player.
And thus came in the short side.
Yes.
Oh, that was a very close.
So he's not familiar with using VR games. He became short in game compared to his 6'3" size IRL. His deck is a pile deck. It has a lot of interesting, unique abilities that are all, oh, look at the card. This might work, right? He's still a new player who's getting more experience, but his deck doesn't synergize at the beginning. And as a result, it makes it really hard in character. It's really hard for him to actually succeed most of the time because his cards don't do what they want to do yet. If that makes any level of sense.
Oh yeah, it does.
There's also the other problem of I actually had to change my gimmick. Within the first couple playtests, and especially after the first couple episodes of Dimension Chasers, we learned that theft is broke as shit. So, and that was his original gimmick, was stealing and manipulating the opponent. So we introduced a inbuilt keyword to the ace mechanic called unique and loyal. Which unique says you can't copy this card, loyal says this card can't trade sides. So I can't. So if I was to go against Amy, I can't steal. I think it's Raven, right?
At the moment, yes.
Yeah, I can't steal Raven from her. I can't copy Raven, and that way, and then abuse it for myself, right? But I could do it to any of our other cards that don't have that, either the ace keyword or the unique or loyal keyword. So it's like, okay, well, we'll start. So I ended up talking to Blaze about it, and this is where tribute and offering started to show up, and you can see it on Morgan as a way for me to pay for power and pay the Fae either in blood or treasure to do better things. If that
Tribute?
makes any level sense.
You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
You see, I was trying hard not to do the joke.
All religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a player such as you.
What is a man? A
gamer.
Pile of flags. But enough talk. Have at thee.
I mean, look, that's why we redheads are around, because we're the ones that steal souls.
But no, jokes aside, that's actually one of the reasons how I built Alphane's deck originally, was around this idea of his cards aren't good. They're usable, but they're not good. And so his starter deck at the beginning feels a lot like that, whereas now his later cards are going to start, eventually are going to start phasing out the older cards or becoming better as he gets his wheels under him.
Yeah, that's some good development there for the character so far. Now, for the next question. What was going through your mind when you decided to make the deck?
I think I kind of answered that already. Was trying to make a deck that wasn't super overbearingly powerful, but had enough different unique effects that weren't tied to exclusively key. Because it was kind of as a foil to Amy's deck in a way, where there's less of a focus on just having keywords on cards, but more of the idea of finding interesting ways to manipulate the field. Which, it's really interesting that both mine and Nell's decks both snowball, but in completely different manners. So it's an interesting dichotomy.
But yeah, you did get me with that double whammy. It's like, you got both questions done in one go. Very nice.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's good. Now, before we get to you, Blaze, it is time for one of the clips. and I know which one to go with because we're still going to be on the little bit of a silly side, so we're going to
And
silly clip.
after a little, it takes you a little bit because you're not used
Is
to
it
the
one
game
where
or
I
being in
think I know
VR.
it is?
Lewis, you finally exit the tutorial level.
Oh, let's
I'm like, my avatar's like frantically eating as I'm trying to do something.
no, I think it's
How
do this because-
do I do this again?
Oh. There we go.
What button does the thing?
Alright, hold on. Let's see now. Properties. The only thing that wasn't going was the sound.
Oh,
No, I could hear it.
It was playing properly on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just don't have it
I'm
set
gonna
up
imagine Quinn probably
heard
sees
on
me
your side.
teleporting in and just
Okay.
frantically
You
emoting.
have it set to output only, not monitoring output.
Hey,
But
He
Hey, how do you
switches
say
from
your-
he switches from floss dancing to pointing to jumping.
hey,
Okay.
is that you? It's me,
Uh,
Quinn.
Oh, Quinn. Hey, yeah, hi.
Uh,
I'm using the controller setup.
oh, geez, hold on. All right, listen. You want to go into your menu?
What button is that?
It's the one with the 3 lines on like the bottom
Okay.
right of the screen.
Okay.
All right. Go to options and then go to interface. It should be on like the bottom left, one like the second to bottom option.
All right.
All right. Now, about the 3rd sub menu down, so about the middle of the screen.
Oh.
Click.
Full link.
Yeah, full link. Do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Like-
click that, and then just send. Then it should automatically do it for you.
All of the frantic emoting ends. Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
Why does it have controller support? I thought this was full VR.
Well, it's not full VR if you decide to use supports.
Why is
You're
somebody
the one who
using a
plugs in a
controller?
Huh? Oh.
Why would somebody be bothering to use a controller?
alright. Now that was something.
Oh, I love that bit.
I forgot about the controller bit, how early it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 1, baby!
And
This
thank
is
you
when
guys-
he accidentally made himself what, 4'9" or something?
5'2". 5'2".
I mean, I heard
Yeah.
about trying to get a leg up on the competition, but going foot down to the ground.
Yeah, they did use controllers in .hack. It was kind of funny, but even then,
I was like, dang. The inner shorty was talking.
yeah,
No, can you confirm that these controllers in .hack?
I'm pretty sure that they did. At least I remember that from some of the anime.
Yeah.
they used it in,
But it's one of those things where at the time people didn't have the concept of doing full VR. That was not really
Not
a thing
true.
yet.
Not true. So, oh my god, what's that book called? Oh my god. Sorry.
Ah.
I'm sorry. This is just really cool. One of the earliest VR MMO like pieces of media that I found is an old book.
Huh.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Alright. And while you're doing that quick look, Blaze, I'm going to let everyone know about this. The reason that chat's not showing up on the screen here is because for some reason it's deciding to go AWOL on me.
oh
no.
dear.
Oh, the chat's somewhere. It's like way off in the distance, off in outer space in the background.
We've just let them fall to the planet and have re-entry-itis.
Itis?
Yes, re-entry-itis.
Part of me feels like
Don't
that's
worry, chat,
actual
you-
world.
You can survive re-entry just like a Gundam.
Yep,
Just don't survive it like a Zaku.
Oh god.
Have
No.
it like Master Chief, you can survive it like a like a Gundam, just not like a Zaku.
Alright.
Ooh, wow. So yeah, this so it's called Otherland. It is from 1996.
Oh wow.
I remember
That's when
that.
the first book in the series came out. It's a really interesting like I've only read the first book or two. Yeah, I think the first two books is what I read. Really good. They're really long and a bit chunky, but it's about this woman. She is a like an African woman. She works it with like computers and programming and stuff. And through this weird like conspiracy of the super wealthy, they are trying to essentially use like supercomputers to make a fully immersive, what essentially is a VR MMO. That only the super wealthy can get into, and like they can make their own personal worlds and stuff. Like one of the super rich guys who's like not that bad of a guy, the one he created was what if South America had, what if the American horse never died out? And the supercomputers are so advanced, so smart that they're able to process what would happen in the world if that happened. And it pretty much turned the South American empires into a major, it's like a major force, because they had a easily domesticatable work animal, essentially. It's just really interesting. Sorry,
I just remember, I do remember seeing some of the. This is gonna date me a little bit. I remember seeing some of the very first VR sets, and I don't mean like public VR sets. I mean actual VR sets, with the whole stand on the conveyor belt thing in the center, with the giant ring around you, and you having to hold a controller while wearing this incredibly heavy headset.
Oh God, I remember that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got to test one of those. I think it was like 97, 98.
Oh, so yeah, this sort of technology would have been like a brand new thing when this book came out. Oh my God. But in the world, in Otherland, instead of having until they get to like the full dive VR part, before that, when they're in the normal VR stuff and they have like their own version of like VR chat and stuff like that, what the really expensive setups are is like a giant series of like cables and stuff suspending you in the air.
Oh, so we're Ready Player One. Got it.
Yeah.
Ready Player One, but much more interesting.
I just meant from the design.
Yeah. Technically, Ready Player One would have copied Otherland because it came out.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I just mean like, so
yeah.
For a frame of reference for those who haven't read it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's very funny.
All right, Blaze. I'm gonna be hitting you with a two-parter questions.
Woo! Two-parter.
So, first part. What was going through your mind when you had to become the GM for Dimension Chasers?
Oh Lord. So I'm not gonna lie. So ever since, I don't think I've told Nell this actually. Ever since we had our first game with Cloudbreaker Alliance and the entire party we have for Team Derp, I've kind of wanted to DM. Like I've always thought they had amazing chemistry and would do good for a stream.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you guys have like great, like Punk and Oni and everyone in that stream. Just they all have great chemistry. The characters are really interesting. Their dynamics really interesting and everything like that. And the players are great. I'm like, yeah, it'd be really cool. And then when Perfect Draw came out, I'm like, I want to try this because it seems really cool. And then we did it. And I'm like, man, this would be kind of fun to run too. And like do like a game for it. And then Nell's like, I think Nell, you suggested the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always down to run more games. Yeah, no. I was really excited because I thought it was a really cool idea. And I was also not sure what I was going to do. Because it took us about 2 months from deciding to run the stream game to actually running it. It was around 2-3 months. And I had a lot of time to like design and stuff like that, but when we first started, I had no idea what we were going to do. So we sat down, we had a session 0, we kind of talked about what our plans were, what kind of game we wanted to do and stuff like that. And from there, I started getting like ideas for story and characters and stuff like that.
Session zeros are always good for starts like that. It helps clear out a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, this next part, and it's also going to extend to everyone here. How did you all find out about Perfect Draw?
Oh my god.
Blaze.
Oh my god. What server was I in? Okay. So shout out to Hikari Chance. She's awesome. She's wonderful. I think it was her server.
All right,
that's great, actually.
Before anything else, is anyone able to give a shout out to her in the chat? Because we got to make sure that they all get their recognition as well.
She's not on Twitch.
I believe she makes content for YouTube specifically.
Yes. Let me go ahead and grab Saturday. So she runs the Saturday morning YouTube channel.
All right. If anyone's able to post that in the chat, you're more than welcome to.
I'm working on it.
It's all good. Sorry for swinging that.
I'll tell you, my first encounter with Perfect Draw was directly because Nell went, "Hey, buddy. So, I know you. I've got you. I helped get you back into Yu-Gi-Oh. Would you like to play an RPG?" Is basically how that conversation started.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Now,
so I looked it up. Robin DeBank, I think is one of the players in one of Hikari's games. Just one day just posted, saw this a few hours ago, looks like a cool card game TTRPG. And before that, I had been working on designing a Yu-Gi-Oh! TTRPG. I had ran a game. It kind of fell apart because of me moving and some other personal stuff that happened.
fair enough.
But I'm like, okay, this is a much better way of doing it. Instead of it being just Yu-Gi-Oh! And having like ways to modify playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Why not have like just a generic card system that kind of lets you do whatever you want? Because I ran into a lot of problems with, hey, I want to make this really cool archetype. It sucks or it's broken. And I'm like, damn, that makes it really hard to kind of balance everything like that. I had a person who wanted to play the face card, Jack's Knight, King's Knight, and Queen's Knight. They're really strong when the rest of the cards are around the GX era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave them the Royal Fusion, the fusion card for them, like the fusion spell and the fusion monster. I gave them both.
Oh.
Because their archetype doesn't feel like an archetype without that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad plan.
I
That was
don't
a very
think they're
bad plan.
technically considered an archetype.
No, they're an archetype.
Well,
they're not an archetype. Well, they
They're
are
kind of an archetype now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it was until they added like the other phase cards where they officially became an archetype in like the game standard, not by like other anime logic or anything. Like yeah, they worked together, but there wasn't like a unifying like thing that connected them.
No, it was like a small self-contained engine, and
Right.
since it was used by Yugi, it kind of got more support. They got a lot of raw support. They support raw very well, actually, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no,
We're talking about this. All I can picture is that weird Yu-Gi-Oh short that somebody did where they were playing poker.
God, I remember seeing that once.
Oh yes.
Alright. Now this
I
question...
just. I'm sorry. You can say your question.
Oh no, you first, Connor. I'll let you finish yours.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to quickly mention, did we ever mention how we all ended up meeting to the point where like us meeting kind of caused everything to snowball and allowed us to do these streamed games? Did we ever mention that before on stream?
no, but we haven't been asked yet. So
Yeah. Okay.
if Lumi wants to ask about that,
Yeah.
Well, since you guys brought up, I might as well just go, hey, so what brought up that snowball effect?
I blame CJ.
100% CJ.
Yeah.
100% safety on that one.
So, yeah, we all, at least I'm not sure if you joined that server side role, but at least what happened, me, Nell, and Blaze, along with everyone else of Team Derp, so Oni and Punk, we met in a Cloudbreaker game. The first game I played that wasn't ran by CJ. And we all had a lot of fun. That's where we had Highway, Alondra, Enma, and Billy Bones. And after the first session, and heck, this was even before Billy was a character in that group, I just randomly shout out my mouth like, hey, do you guys want to play again? I really like playing with you guys. And I'm surprised y'all said yes to it, which in turn led to the Cloudbreaker Explorer stream, and in turn meeting for me Sagrol, joining Nell's server, and eventually leading up till Dimension Chasers.
I blame CJ because when Cloudbreaker first appeared on my radar, right? Like I saw the video that CJ put out discussing like, hey, look, I'm coming up with this concept.
Same.
And so I immediately followed the new thing on Twitter that he made, and I was commenting on some of the posts. And then randomly out of nowhere, I get a DM from him going, hey, would you like to play test this game? I'm like, hell yeah.
I think I remember you saying something to your server about when it was first time that you were playtesting something, and then the whole Cloudbreaker thing came out.
Yeah. But yeah, I got to go over there. My first test game for that was with CJ, and I think was not sure if it was the second or the third one. No, it was the third one that I played with you, Blaze.
Okay.
It was the third one because that was after I had finally established Lilandra's personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also when everybody had learned the horrors that I could pull off when I know the system well.
Oh my goodness.
Man. There was a funny moment where we had a boss fight against someone, and Nell did so much damage it nearly KO'd the boss 2.5 times over.
With a 4 damage weapon, I might add.
Yeah.
Nell, put the machine gun down.
You
It
mean
was a knife.
Put the machine knife down.
Well, no, it wasn't a knife. It was a wire glove knife thing.
Oh, that was the wire gloves. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I was referring to the mini Enma episode arc thing that Blaze did very well actually putting together, and ended up being ended up being a very fun session. Which, by the way, Punk, Oni, if you guys are in the chat at all, or if you guys see this, y'all are incredible players. 10 out of 10, I'd give a round of applause. I'm not sure if you guys.
Bravo.
Yeah, make sure you give a shout out to your fellow players and those things too.
So sorry. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I think the reason I point out CJ is because CJ and Nell specifically were the reasons why I got onto playing. I think it was the first live streamed game of Cloudbreaker.
Yes. I did the very first stream for Cloudbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was brought into that. So CJ is kind of the reason I got pulled into. I'm gonna blame CJ for it, and I'm gonna say that CJ is the reason I got pulled into the perfect draw over here.
For me, what it was so I got the video for No, it wasn't the first video for CJ's New Systems. Like the second one, I want to say. And that happened right as a kind of not great. I was like in a not great spot in my life right when that happened. So I kind of threw myself into the game a bit. Because it was a series of unfortunate events all that happened at once. On the bright side, I had a ton of time to play TTRPGs. So I was in like every single playtest and everything happening at that point in time for Cloudbreaker. Yeah, it was just, and that's kind of just what happened. And then I saw Nell's Lilandra. Lilandra I thought was a really cool character. I was super excited when you just agreed to play in one of my games.
Also, shout out to Silver MA for making art of Lilandra, and for all the art that she does for a bunch of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emma does a incredible art class.
I gotta try one day to get art of like Enma or another one of my TCRPG characters.
Well, I know this wonderful artist named Ro.
If I could get a form of income to pay Ro, Ro would be on my radar.
Alright, so
Take all the time you need, my friend.
before we continue onward, since we did the silliness, it is time to show a serious moment of Dimension Chasers.
A more serious moment. All right.
We're about to get super serial, guys.
Does that mean we're gonna get more serial questions as well?
We'll have to see.
Ooh.
And in an arc of burning fire, he pulls the card out.
Did you just burning draw like Slurger?
And I play the invocation, Assemble the Crest. As long as I have 3 or more Horned Dragon monsters in my graveyard, I can play Dragon of the Three-Horned Crest directly from my graveyard, activating all of its effects as normal, but with one addition. I also equip one of my opponent's monsters to mine as a Horned Dragon card. And since Hanzo doesn't appear to be your deck's ace, that'll be the perfect card to add to my Horn collection. I transform it into an item, and it equips to my Dragon of the Three-Horned Crest.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Oh, that was a good clip.
Dude.
That was a good clip.
Don't get me wrong. I am still a little, like, in character, I'm still a little salty at that loss. I am still a little salty at that loss.
Oh man, you don't know how like salty and bitter Quinn is for like that whole situation, but oh my god, I wasn't. I thought how generally guests were gonna go with the previous member. I forgot her name. I feel bad.
Iris. She's the
Iris,
developer
yes.
of
Yes, Iris.
one of the developers of Perfect Draw.
Yeah, Iris, wonderful player. I thought it was generally fun and everyone liked it. The amount of hype that Golden Nova Yu-Gi-Oh caused that for the entire series was insane.
He really elevated that bar.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
he really
definitely.
was.
Like,
If
not
you
gonna
were to
lie.
have-
Oh, you first.
Yeah, if
I'm
you were to
saying-
have
Oh, go ahead.
if you were to have one reason at all to promote the show beyond just our characters, it would be Nova. He made that episode as like a highlight.
Nova took that episode and literally, despite being in the wings waiting the entire time for that fight to happen, he took the spotlight from us like it belonged to him the entire time.
Took it. He pretty much stole it, made it bigger, and was like, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I will say, as the DM, I make all the NPC, most of the NPC fights, all that kind of stuff. I've done like all the other episodes, everything. That duel with Crest Knight still is probably my favorite part of the series because the conviction that Nova gets across in his character is amazing. Kind of because the rest of the party is kind of not super serious all the time. Especially up until that point. It's been kind of silly and stuff's kind of just happened and, it's a little bit more comic-y and jokey. And then Crest Knight comes. And Crest Knight takes the game incredibly seriously. And that is a wonderful change of pace for the game for me. And it's just fascinating to me. It's like just the way he takes it, he's so serious with it and it's just so cool.
I don't know, it's like, when he first brought up the character, it was like, this should be interesting. And then we went full mode into it. It was like, boss character fight, new rival? Let's go.
Combine that, right? He also forced some of the hidden lore about both Lewis and Amy out, with Elfdane and Amy out onto the field, into the open, and forced us to a limit that we were not already going at that.
Just like
You could also tell after that duel, Ellie is a little bit more aggressive in her battles now.
Definitely.
Just a little bit.
I mean, you can also tell a little bit with Lewis, where the cards that he's getting are not just, hey, this is a cool card for his deck. No, these are cards he needs to fix his deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
Nova alone really changed so much with our characters. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Crestline is basically like, hey, I'm here. You guys gonna have to change. Fight me.
Time for a real MC to take the stage. What do you mean I'm so
Oh, but don't worry, he will make another appearance. Ellie does need to settle the score.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Quinn didn't even participate in the duel and he wants a run back.
Alright, so before I do any more questions for you guys, we're gonna have chat. What do you guys have to ask for them?
Yo, chat Q&A time, let's go!
Cool.
So chat, hit them with your questions. But make sure
It
one
doesn't
at a time.
have to be Dimension Chasers related either. It can be just general questions.
Mhm.
Exactly. Remember, one at a time. We don't want to have you guys come with too many ideas on top of each other.
Spam it, chat. Make Lumi have to pay. Make Lumi suffer.
Just
Oh.
as many questions as you can think of.
Rapid fire.
Oh, it wouldn't be me doing the suffering. You guys are gonna have to be doing the answering.
I know, right?
Ha! I play Armor Maiden Tactica's defense stratagem.
I play no.
Damn it!
I
I
play
wasn't expecting
green
no.
Uno reverse card.
Oh my. For
Is that
reference,
you want to do something? It's like, nope.
For reference,
I just imagine Lumi doing like the whole Team Fortress 2 head with the neck extending out, going nope.
But
Just to say it on screen, because I saw Scorn mention it earlier, though. Crest Knight was such an inclusion. I was wanting him on the main cast, and it was replied in chat, but dude, Crest Knight as a main cast would be so fun.
yeah. But I feel-
I don't know if we should talk about it too much, but
that will.
There was originally going to be 4.
Mhm.
One of the players did have to back out. They may rejoin in the future. They may not. They might just become a guest character here and there. But we will have to see how that goes in the future.
Yeah, it's something that's up in the air. We don't know. We can't spoil.
If you want a secret hint as to what their character design was at the time that we originally were concepting the game, go check out the Perfect Draw tabletop simulator game. You'll notice that there was a 4th character slot, a 4th character spot on there.
Yeah, the tabletop simulator board, specifically on the Steam Workshop.
Yep. There's the 3 that are us, and there was a 4th slot.
It was also in the trailer, as Scorn points out. Yeah.
So
If I could, If I could at least say, I think, as much as I would love Crest to become a 4th party member and be like part of the main cast, part of me also loves the fact that he's not, and he's just a side character that shows up and just steals the spotlight every moment. I think that just highlights him even more. That's
I
just my
disagree slightly because I am a huge fan of the 6th Power Ranger.
Don't get me wrong, so am I. But we're still in probably season 1 of our
Crest Knight shows up. Do, 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 do.
No, it's gonna copyright his stream.
Oh my god.
but
I was incredibly off key. They're not going to come that fast after you.
Oh, okay, cool.
there's one thing I do want to say. Since I've been watching you guys' series so far, I did make an ace monster myself. I know you guys seen it, but I think it's for chat to see it too. And
Yes!
let's see now. Let me get it up.
Let's see your ace monster.
Let's see it.
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to do it proper. I gotta make sure say the summoning for it.
Yeah, summoning chance. I love it.
All right, just one moment. Let me find him.
Draw. Monster Cardo.
Where did I put you?
Perfect draw.
Let's see. There we go. All right. All right. Ready? As the doors close, the lights go off. Arriving from the shadows of the night, from the skies above, the warrior of Sapphire arrives. Appear, mighty warrior, Magdum, Sapphire warrior.
Yo, he looks baller. All right, let's see what this card does as it covers Blaze.
So,
all right, when this card is summoned, for each food creature in the graveyard, flip a coin, max of 5 for the following effects. Heads gain 1 extra attack only on the turn it's summoned, and tails gain 1 random keyword.
Damn.
This is the best way to do a flip deck. Any kind of flip effect. It's good and good in a different way.
Yeah. You're not losing out.
Punished for losing the flip, but the flip gives you different benefits depending on how it goes.
And you can kind of control what you get with it by just literally throwing more fuel in the gutter.
yep.
So it looks like, honestly, you want to try to get as many tails as possible. But
It's open.
if the opponent is open, then having heads would be beneficial.
But
Yeah,
I am glad you guys.
that's the kind of thing I was looking. I was just like, yeah, you want head. I would think the best way to have him result would be like 3 heads and 2 tails, so you have 3 extra attacks, so for a total of 4, and then get 2 keywords. Hopefully, things like piercer or sniper, right?
All right. So, we have a first question. Scorn13 says, "Would Alfden have been the mentor playbook if it had been out at the time?" Is something that they've been wondering.
Okay.
The
A
what?
little bit of the admission.
The mentor playbook.
That's a thing?
I haven't
Yeah.
bought the playbook yet due to my financial situation. So I don't know what the mentor playbook has.
So the mentor playbook, I don't know the details of what it does, but I know the concept is imagine Yugi after he retires from Duel Monsters and gets a job in game development. And then he occasionally, and then in a series later on down the road, he's teaching the new young upstart about how to play and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of
I think it's more along the lines of God, what was his name from GX? The one with the cat that always appears as a ghost around Jaden, and in the abridged series they go, "I'm so Asian."
Hello, Kazu. Thanks for popping into the chat.
I think it's more along the lines of that kind of mentor.
Okay. I haven't seen. I couldn't think of any of that kind of character specific.
Professor Banner, that's his name. Right?
Banner.
Yeah, Professor Banner.
Yeah.
God, I love his design.
You know, it would have definitely changed how I made Elfdane then, if that's the case. But it would also be one of those things where it would have completely changed Elfdane at the core. Simply because of the fact of the ally is that he's helping his friends from the sidelines, or his friends are helping him from the sidelines, vice versa, right? It's a different skill set, which would have influenced how I built it from the first, if that was the playbook I wanted to go for. So, could he have been the mentor? Yeah, but I don't think it would have been Elfdane then at that point.
Alright, so while before we get to the next question, and while chat's thinking of questions to ask in general for you guys, it is time for another clip. We're going back to the silly side.
Ooh! Alright, chat, get those questions in.
Get ready to think of those.
Let's see, a silly clip. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get ready to think of some questions while trying to hold back some laughter, because here comes the clip.
Yeah, you guys can check on Jeff. He is doing pretty well. He has once again managed to tie himself to a completely separate place than you put him up previously.
How the hell is he on the roof?
You know, I'm gonna call it roach logic and leave it at that.
Like,
He's just sitting there munching.
this is some Witcher stuff of like your horse spawning in random places.
Look,
Shen, we do not question the power of the Council of Jeff, and we'll leave it at that.
you're the only one who's camel certified. You gotta get him down.
Fine. Quinn begins climbing up. Okay. Come on. I'm camel certified. You have to listen to what I say.
He just looks at you,
Camel
blinks at a
certified.
sink, and goes back to munching on the roof.
Reach into a dimensional portal, pull out a drink, and just watch. She's got like a swirly straw and everything.
He goes like nibbling on a piece of pee or something.
All right. Quinn more or less goes through the process of making like the most out of his way possible, trying to figure out how to get him down. Like he tries tugging him, like pulling by like the lash. He doesn't move an inch. Eventually, he finds extra pieces of sled and like possible like old material, and more or less makes a staircase. And he slowly tries to lead him down with part of the roof.
He'll watch you trying to lead him down, and then just go to the back of the other side of the roof and just get down the way he got up.
Oh, Jeff.
I'm sorry. I'm so excited about the Jeff stuff.
Yeah, Jeff, I love it so much.
So
You just called him Jeff randomly now, and then
Because he's Jeff the intern.
I know, like you just chose Jeff, and then an entire character was born from that alone.
Yeah.
For those who are not aware of that reference or joke that I made, it is from Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Abridged, where there's an entire family of Jeff the interns.
Okay.
So speaking of
Their last name is all intern, and their first name is all Jeff.
Yeah.
So speaking of Jeff,
Yes.
I have something special for all of you.
Yes.
The
Oh,
Jeff
no.
the camel card. Oh.
God, I love these cards so much. I've still got to work out mine. I have an idea
Alright,
what
so
I want it to do.
I'm gonna have it big like this. So here's Jeff the Camel, intern level.
In this card, roll a d6 and apply the following effects. On a 1, put this card face up on top of your deck. 2, place one random card from your hand under this card. 3, put this card face up on the top of your opponent's deck. 4, place this card onto opponent's field. 5, draw one card from your deck. 6, gain 1 life. Yeah, that feels like very Jeff-like.
Because he just does what he wants. Wait, is Jeff a boy or a girl? Did we establish that?
Jeff is Jeff.
Jeff is Jeff. I don't know.
All right, Jeff is Jeff Star. Gender Jeff. Got it.
Jeff is Jeff. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have Jeff without a Jeff card.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jeff is. I love how you just portrayed his character so much, Blaze.
he really became his own.
Yeah, it was incredible.
He became less just, here's a throwaway camel, whatever, to, we're gonna go find Jeff specifically.
Yeah, I think it allowed you, Blaze, really well to also interact with us in the world, just to have fun. Like, that's a good thing to have as a GM.
Yeah.
Toolkit.
But also, that's kind of fulfilled by all the NPCs, which you guys haven't interacted with some of them.
Listen, the Macho Man scares me. Every single time we playtest against him, I just get OTK'd.
The Boulder has some questions about you being fearful of mushrooms.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm sorry for the tangent, Lumi. Is there any other stuff you wanted to ask us?
The Boulder is fine with tangents.
Alright. Well, since we're tangenting, playtest wise, oh my goodness, there was so much playtesting.
Oh god, yes.
Oh, the playtesting was so good.
It's fun.
Sego, you weren't there for the first playtest. Oh my god, we will never, never, never play this in Roll20 again.
You mean the FMA Armstrong guy I mentioned? Yeah. So, I'm not sure if you have made any updates to his deck at all, Blaze, but if so, take the reins. But, when we first designed some of the NPC decks...
Don't spoil anything about the deck.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Alright, I will say one thing about the deck that's not a spoiler because I helped design the art for it. The art for that deck is hilarious because the concept was an intern at the company had 3 hours to get a bunch of card art done and in, so he basically half-assed it.
Alex Louis Armstrong, the strong arm
silly.
alchemist, approves of this message.
It's such a silly. I'll say this: there's some of these decks that, like Nell, myself, Blaze, I'll work a lot on helping make some of the NPC decks. Like I'll randomly pop in and go, "Hey Blaze, so what kind of deck do you need? What kind of themes do you need? Do you need some location tiles? How about music?" And I'm just in the background, in like between like either working on something in the background, playing a game, doing my own streams, just going. Okay, Blaze, you need this. Here's that. Here's that. Here's that. Here's that.
Yep. These sessions would not happen without Cyril. 100%.
I know, as having been a permanent DM myself, if you don't have help, it makes it that much harder. So why not help?
Yeah.
I am.
Which is why I've made fast tools as well, so that way when Blaze goes, "Hey, it's 2 hours before stream and I need this turned into a location tile," I go, "Cool, what's the location?" Bam, 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 hits in the drive, go.
Yep. I would
man,
never wait till the last second to get game prep done. I would never do that.
Sorry.
So it's a lie? That is a full-faced lie? Every DM waits until last second for at least something.
I know, right?
Why do I hear boss music coming from someone?
Write up as an example for you real quick.
Oh.
Boom, here you go. That way you don't forget it.
Alright, so, Skull Insane. Not a question, just want to say, y'all's game has helped inspire me a lot. I'm on my second watch through now as well, but listening is helping me do my own perfect draw world building. Plus, I love the show enough to put into Nell's Patreon the next day to help y'all out in any way. Now that's a good way to go.
Oh my
Thank you very
God.
much. That means you've seen some of the stuff that's coming already. Some of the stuff that we haven't shared yet.
We are going to be expanding what's going to be there too. I am going to start posting deck profiles for and not just deck profiles, like updated, better constructed versions of the decks, so that way you guys can take them and use them in your own game.
I'd recommend putting both, so that way they can choose and pick which one they prefer.
Good point. Good point.
You can
So,
have basically a better tuned version versus the one we encountered in the game.
Lore accurate DD deck.
All I will say, Scored, regarding that art is that card is a bit off, but it's going to be absolutely amazing when it appears.
so thanks to Scorner, I have come up with an extra question. This is not going to be part of the main question, but are you guys ready for this? This is for all of you.
Sure.
How does it feel knowing that your game's not only helping inspire a lot of people to do their own world building, but seeing a lot of people have fun in general and want to try stuff in their own way?
Okay, so this is a little embarrassing. I just did this. Stuff like what they said, like whenever I see someone talking about it in Discord or something, I always clip it and just show it because it makes me so happy to see stuff like that. I'm no joke, just about to start crying right now.
Yeah.
Because thank you so much. Like so whenever we first started doing Perfect Draw, and it's currently up to like almost 3,000 views on episode 1. That literally blows my mind. We had someone donate money to us. We have someone who joined the Patreon just to help us out. my brain doesn't process that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Same.
It's hard to fathom that as somebody who primarily played at tables, playing and helping inspire people on a streaming, being streamed and seeing my gameplay or in everybody else's interactions and Blaze's, being part of this really blows me away.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the fact is, like, I expected Elfdane to be like, oh yeah, there's Connor's character Shen, there's Amy played by Nell, and then oh yeah, there's that one guy that's the weird teeth dude in the back, right? And everyone who's talked about Elf, whenever I see like on the Perfect Draw server or anything that talks about Elfdane, and like, yeah, Elfdane's a good example of a new player getting better. I get thrown off my rocker so hard that I'm just like, people like Elfdane? What?
Yeah.
It's like, if I could describe Elfdane as like reference to another character from a show I like, he gives me, in a weird sense, Megumi vibes from JJK. Just for the fact of like, yeah, he's still growing into his own, but there's just random points where he just pops off and gets a crazy look in his eye, which has been happening much more concerningly in the universe that you've actually acknowledged it in character.
Oops.
But like, seriously, no joke. Like, the whole duel against Crest Knight, Shen's like, or I guess like the in episode 8 against that opponent's duel, because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. Shen was like, Jesus Christ, dude, you okay? Chill.
No, I haven't been okay, and apparently I have not acknowledged it for years.
When are we like not spoiling past? Because we're up to episode 10, but I don't know what we're not supposed to talk about.
I say if it's been aired, it's fair game.
So, just to be fair, let's just say go up to episode 7, so that way it won't get too far out of hand.
Okay.
Because I know
You're the host. There is a clip from episode 9, but episode 9's not a worry for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 9 and 10, 9, 10? Are
9.
Yeah.
calmer and a lot less plot heavy, which was a much needed breather.
Oh yeah.
Because let's say between the episodes 1 and 7 so far for you guys, it's really finding its ground of being a good series to watch for many people. Listen to, watching, getting ideas, everything. It's hitting home with a lot.
You love it when Elfdane just starts cackling. Some of the cackling is just me having a good time. Some of that's genuinely just me smiling because I'm like Blaze sometimes, where I'm just the forever DM and I'm just having a good time. And some of it's me playing up some of the under the surface insanity that is Elfdane.
There's an audience, buddy.
But in regards to the question of Lumi for me, as somebody who does a lot of streaming, and I've been making content for many a year now, I always just like trying to not just bring my best foot forward, but to inspire other people to bring their best foot forward. Because a lot of people treat Twitch and YouTube and all this as a zero-sum game, when really it's not.
Nope.
If I help Sagril grow, Sagril in return helps me grow. If I help you grow, Lumi, you help me grow. It's communal, it's beneficial, so...
I've always said it as like a way to sum it up. It's rising waters raise all ships.
Yeah, so I like helping people to not just be better for everything, but I like inspiring people to do stuff. Because if I can make someone go, hey, that's really cool, I want to do that, then who knows, maybe they'll make the next Dimension Chasers or something even better. And then I can go, cool, I can sit down and watch this. This is going to be awesome.
This is something
Or, you know, just like knowing that they're passing along to others. Like, one of the things I did a while ago, this was back before the pandemic started.
Yes, before the dark
Was I used to go out once a week and run D&D games for free for people.
Ooh.
I would be a DM for people and play D&D.
No lore.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't have a car anymore, but I mean, that's something I used to do. But now I get my my ability to help make people happy and inspire them through this.
All right, that's always very good to know because you help everyone out. You expand the player base for many people to find their own feeding. It's good in its own way. So, before we do any more questions, and we're gonna make this fair for everyone, we're gonna take a quick, let's say a few-minute break, so everyone can stretch, get a drink or something. So, we'll take a quick break for a moment, and then we'll get back to the questions. Sound good?
Sounds great.
That sounds good.
All right, we shall be right
So
back.
chat, while we're on BRB, go ahead and type in all your questions. That way Lumi has a bunch of them when we come back.
All right, and that goes for you too, chat. Make sure to stretch, drink, get something to eat, all that good stuff. We shall be back in after these moments.
Take care. Are we good?
Yeah, okay, I see a break screen.
Yeah, okay. Wait, no, Connor, if we get you a computer, will they not let you have it?
No, as in, like, if you guys offer, and if I tell you that, they would most likely say, like, oh,
Oh.
God, no, don't let them do that. Like, no.
Guys.
Like, no, like, it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Just to let you know, I don't have it muted on my side, so
Oh, okay.
Oh, no!
Well, this
Oh,
is very
no.
awkward.
Lumi, mute yourself!
I-
Or not mute yourself, deafen yourself or something.
Well, I'm gonna grab stuff. BRB.
I am so sorry.
Oh, there it is.
They can still hear us. Oh, can they?
Uh-oh.
Okay, guys, it stopped. Oh my god. When I said, are we good, that's why I asked. No, they can still hear us. They can still hear us.
Alright, and we are back.
So that's when I got the card and I did. Wait, oh, sorry.
But, yeah, so. Alright. This next question for y'all. It's gonna be a big one.
Okay.
Hope you're ready for it. So,
Sure.
Hit us with your biggest question, Bridgekeeper. I am not afraid.
I could be very afraid. I am very nervous all the time.
how did you guys first feel knowing that your game Dimension Chasers was gonna be the first one using the perfect draw system and backing it too?
So, I don't personally for me, and I don't want this at all to come across rude when I say this, but it felt fun, but nothing beyond it. It feels a very like a good system. It didn't felt like any real big heavy responsibility other than just make sure we're showing off what makes the system special and unique. Which I felt like that the game itself did very well. Other than that, it didn't felt like any other like massive like burden for me.
I personally wasn't in a rush to get the first game out. If we were in a rush to get the first game out, I guarantee you it would have been a lot worse and probably a month and a half early.
Yeah.
I think us waiting as long as we did is what made it as good as it is.
Yeah. Deck balancing, I think overall, deck balancing and character design was what, a week and a half of work total?
Yeah.
And then the other 6.5 weeks was Blaze and I building everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly
Yeah,
was
they-
her, she did most of the work.
I was gonna say they were doing all of the tabletop building. Was I think the majority of it, and then having to do all of the work for the all the work to fix up the board, account for glitches, look as good as it does. A lot of that was just making sure our cards were not disappearing.
We don't have that problem anymore. Nope.
Never
No,
happened.
That's all happens.
But to kind of get back to your question, so this is gonna sound really like weird. This is the third time I have done a stream game for a system that is not yet released. I did a shout out to this system made by some awesome people. It is called, let me find, I'm still on the server, I just don't post it very often. Destiny TTRPG. I don't know if it's not really under development anymore because the rival system, Dungeons and Destiny, came out. Or D and Destiny came out. But back when it first was getting developed by its original creator, they were doing a weekly stream just to kind of promote the system and work on, finding bugs and all that kind of stuff. And at one point, they're looking for a fourth member. And I'm like, you know what? I'll throw my hat in the ring. The reason I got in was because I was the only guy willing to show his face.
Oh.
Ironic, since I no longer show my face on streams and stuff.
Oh, like your actual face.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can't find them anymore. They've been scrubbed from the internet, but yeah.
That's very interesting that would be that you got in.
A lot of
Yeah.
people, it wasn't a super huge community. I mean, I'm sure that wasn't the only reason, but like, that was like one of the requirements because everyone on the stream showed their face. This is, I think, before VTubers started becoming a bigger thing.
So yeah, this would have been probably about 10 years or so ago then, give or take.
Well, no, it wasn't 10. Oh god, how old am I? Don't scare me like that now. No, wait. Fuck.
You brought this upon yourself.
I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. Whenever it was a bit before the Frozen.
Sorry,
oh, God.
Kizuna I, the first mega huge VTuber,
Mhm.
is 8 years old.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I have to look this up now.
So did it launch the entire industry, or
It's not that it launched the entire industry, because I did somewhat PNG stuff before that. But it's when Kizuna Ai came out, she's the one that popularized it and codified it essentially.
Right. Because she was the world's, in quotations, first virtual YouTuber, which is where we get the term VTuber.
So it would have been around 2019. It would. Okay, let me think real quick. This would have been a bit after I got out of the military.
So yeah, you were right before the big VTuber boom. And I do
Yeah, because
remember
it says that it was 2020 is when the expansion was released.
Okay, so yeah, that would have been just before VTubing took off in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had, I think, it was
Because HoloLive NA dropped, I think, late 2019,
like-
early 2020 or something.
I think it was
April
around
2020, I wanna say.
2020.
Actually, let me see real quick.
I know that they were doing the auditions and stuff like that during 2019.
Yeah.
I think they didn't actually start until like early 2020, mid 2020, during the whole pandemic thing.
I like I said, I want to say it's April 2020. I can actually double check this.
Anyhow.
Anywho,
While Blaze is looking up that information, what is your next question?
Alright, so, well, we are getting close to the end, so there's only going to be one or two more questions. So, the next question for you guys is, with how far you've come so far, do you expect you might get into any more extra shenanigans, or you think you might get a extra surprise guest show up to join you in the streams?
Ooh.
Oh, we definitely have guests lined up. No question about that. There are guests lined up. There will be shenanigans in the future, of course. There's always going to be shenanigans. Aside from that, we have major story beats that each of us seems to want to hit. Some are more concrete than others. But aside from that, everything else is more of a framework.
yeah, that's, I think one of the things that we're with right now is we've dropped a lot of hints about everyone's personal backstories and how they have to interact and how what they're bringing from before the game to the table, right? Are now starting to really come in effect, and we effectively have only a couple clues to the results of that at the moment. But I mean, that's kind of there's a little bit of a mystery going on for us in game, as you guys have seen, and we're literally taking the cookie crumbs and running with it as far as we.
Yeah, so far you guys been doing great with all the episodes out so far. For those who have seen them or marathoning or trying to catch up, it's been one fun wild ride between the balance of seriousness, the comedy, and the world building. It's perfectly out there. Well, I wouldn't say perfectly, because that would put it on a too high of a bar, because that would make it feel like there'd be too much pressure. Let's say it's evened out. You know?
Well, we could always perfect draw the episode.
I walked right into that one.
Yes, you did.
Alright, so this shall be the final question for y'all.
Alrighty.
Are you ready for it?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are you sure you're ready for this? Because this one's gonna be way out there. I mean, it could have some emotional damage.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
All right, Stephen E., what you got?
Better not be like a double stacked hamburger.
But in all seriousness, so the final question is: if you had a chance to make a side note manual to help other players get their own setting, well, ideas, like from what you experienced, would you be able to write something out that could help newcomers help build their own world?
That's a good question.
Part of me wants to say people have already kind of done that job in the Perfect Draw server.
True,
No,
but if we,
I know,
What about
like,
the player who's first time coming into this, right?
I know,
Mhm.
like they got in through us, so yeah. My first response for that would be you could definitely check out the Perfect Draw server, and the entire community is incredible. But if they're looking answers from us, yeah, I think maybe I could, at least not speaking for everyone here, I think I could maybe think of something.
here's my easy go-to to give you a way to come up with an idea. What do you think is cool? So let's try that, Lumi. What do you think is really cool? Doesn't matter what it is, just tell me something you think is really cool.
Oh, honestly, one thing I think that is really cool is the possibility of imagining of alternate universes and how they branch out.
Okay, so multiple universes. Okay. Now apply card games to that.
Oh,
That's a good way to start it, I'll be honest.
That is honestly the best way to start it. Like, our concept for how we came up with the world of Dimension Chasers, I sat down and was reading through the book, and I went to Blaze. I was like, this ability to draw perfect cards, this is just the storm card gain ability from Brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
that basically helped us make the system, or like the setting.
yeah, so I was like, well, why don't we just make something similar to Brains? And then we were like, well, what else could we do with that? Because we don't want to just rip off Brains.
Right.
VR MMO, full diving. Let's add some high stakes to it. So we'll essentially a sprinkle of Sword Art Online, but good.
And I think the main thing that helped us really come up with solidifying it is having the different worlds that you visit us, or like have us visit, is based around the actual card worlds that are made through the cards. They're not like, oh, here is Virtual City A, here is Venice, but with code in the sky.
Definitely haven't planned that one out. Delete that file real quick.
Okay, I'm going to genuinely ask you later. What was that one?
Look. We've just finished fighting an incredibly powerful boss battle, but I have one question. Why the hell are we in Venice?
because why not?
So, Sacral, do you?
Wait, what?
I was gonna say, Sacral, do you have any advice?
Honestly, I think my main advice is to, if you, for more on the card building aspect of it, take notes from your favorite card and then simplify them. I know there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players in here, and y'all don't like to read.
Yeah, in that case, hold on. In that case, if you don't like to read, but you like the card, why not take the concept of that card and turn that into your perfect draw card?
Exactly.
Ha,
Yeah.
joke's on you. I can read.
What are you, Jaden?
Yes.
It's okay, as MTG players can't read either. I'm aware of this. Why do you think my cards have, like, protection?
Speed spells the joining?
Yes. Why do you think my cards have to have simplified to limit what I can do?
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, thank you. I really thought making it the zones would be a lot more interesting than just like. I thought it'd be a really interesting way to incorporate like the lore in different locations and lots of just different visual stuff.
I mean, my hoodie has 2 of them listed on it.
Exactly.
Man, it's incredible
We just
when
haven't been to one of them yet.
But thanks for
it's
that.
incredible when you take the stories of your cards and actually make them
full-on stories that the people can enjoy than just hieroglyphic interpretations.
But yeah, thanks for answering all the questions, everyone.
Oh, can I give my quick answer for that one? By the way, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
you're
for
good.
it.
I was waiting for
Sorry.
you to.
Okay. So this is gonna sound like really bad advice, but hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Focus less on the world and focus more on populating it with interesting characters. That is one thing I really enjoy in a lot of like kind of shonen battle anime, which is essentially what Yu-Gi-Oh is. It's a shonen battle anime. No one can convince me otherwise.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But a lot of the times you don't remember the locations, the settings for the epic duels. Like, you know, it happened on Duelist Kingdom, but you probably couldn't tell me, you know, what location he went up against May Valentine for the first time or anything like that. But you could tell me May Valentine and her whole thing.
I'm sorry, I was about to tell you exactly which domain it was.
Listen here, okay? Listen here.
Yeah,
He can use the launch catapult turtle to get over her mirror wall.
hold on, no, hold on. I just
Let me-
need to quickly. I'm sorry.
Let me finish my thought, okay?
Let us finish.
Let me finish. Focus more on making interesting characters. That's kind of a bit of what I've done. A lot of the NPCs where like I just sat down, I'm like, man, this would be a really cool deck. So like Phoebe's a bad example.
Which is an awesome
Striker.
character.
She is, but she's a bad example because I already had her as a character concept beforehand. She's from an old game. Striker's an excellent example. I'm like, okay, Striker will be an interesting character. I got the idea from Hikari Chance. Like, well, there you go, a mom who's playing the game, and they're like super edgy. And so I kind of like, okay, well, I kind of took that idea and just kind of moved it into the cards. So I made like, you know, super edgy archetype, kind of like what kind of deck you would imagine someone who's like try hard and like that would have.
When the
And
Blaze
they're very-
brought that deck to me, I was like, we need to come up with a name for this, and I came up with the worst 2000s internet username ever.
Yep.
Why do-
X_X Twilight XX Striker X_ Apple X.
Yep.
Excuse me while I hide from that attack.
But so yeah, and I feel like people remember less of Nexus City where they first encountered Striker at the park, more just the deck. So I feel like what's more important, well, yes, a cool setting is very important. I feel like cool characters are more important. That could just be my DMing style.
I have to agree. To put it very bluntly, I'm going to use episode 5 as the best example for this. Okay. How many people gave a shit that we fought Crest Knight in the bank versus fighting Crest Knight? Period.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really. I just loved headcanoning that all the security guards were just having so much fun watching the duel than actually bothering us. Like, they're just on the cameras, just like, hold on, this is getting good.
Side note, Crest Knight wasn't even supposed to be in the bank.
Oh yeah, right. Did you?
Blaze, why'd you tell that?
Okay,
Yeah.
so what happened was this is the whole like putting the screen back a little bit. When I was setting up the map, I threw Gotcha in there. Just as a background character, because Gotcha would be in Nexus City. And then Connor saw that, and that whole thing turned into a duel. And I'm like, okay,
I rolled poorly.
we're a little behind on time, but okay, this we can still get Crest Knight at the point where I want to get Crest Knight. Because they were supposed to go to the frontier, learn what they're going to learn, go back, and then do a dungeon. That was the original plan. So then I'm like, okay, you know, that's okay. And then I'm like, originally I was going to have Striker fight Amy there, kind of like call her out in public. But we had the other duel. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I was replace it with that duel and move on. And then you guys called the entire party. You called all of your friends that can help you. And I'm like, oh god, well, Striker's trying to call out Amy. It would make sense for Striker to call her out here. that makes a lot of sense, and it'd be an interesting story beat. And plus, I really liked Striker's, secret. I thought it'd be really cool to bring out.
I'm
So-
still upset about that.
So that duel also happened. I'm like, okay, we're like really far behind. We're gonna miss Crest Knight's duel if I don't, step it up. And I'm like, well, they're about to go into the bank. It would make sense for them to hire players to act as security. It'd be kind of like interesting, like little PvP kind of thing. And yeah, I thought it'd be interesting. Like it would make sense in the world. So I'm like, okay, I'll put Crest. I think we took a break right before.
We took a
This-
break right before
yes.
the fights happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Striker. I'm like, okay, Gold Nova. You're gonna be at the end of this, okay? It's like, okay. Awesome. And we do the whole thing. And then it ended up being a really great spot, but also like what Nell was saying, just honestly, Golden Nova is amazing. His just charisma and just dedication to the character was amazing. And it was just great. It didn't matter when it happened. It didn't matter it mattered a bit why it happened, but it was just amazing characters dueling each other, and it was just so cool.
It's literally, he shows up, talks shit, beats two of the players in a duel, becomes friends, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
I mean, he effectively did early DBZ Piccolo to us.
I know, and it was awesome. I loved every moment of it.
I kind of feel it was more of a Nanaha, but then I'm saving that reference for later.
I don't get that reference at all. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
All right, so
We still have the one. I think we still have one clip.
Should be one last clip.
yeah, we got time for one last clip before we close out.
Yeah,
Here we
let's
go.
watch the last clip and then we'll outro.
Yep. All right. Here's the last clip.
Well, at least I don't
Alright.
have to worry about my zero passion for this.
Yeah. All right. So
I guess the second advent gives us power.
So you stop and you have a concept this time, and you kind of reach out with your mind, kind of with a more solid concept this time. And you can feel the dimensional instability. It starts to shift and change. Weird question. Does Ellie have a vivid imagination?
I mean, yes. She was able to design a VR world.
Fair. All right. So as you're doing this, your mind seems to go somewhere that you aren't thinking of, and for a little bit, you can see a battlefield. You've seen stuff like this in some Armor Maiden cards before, and you see an Armor Maiden you haven't seen before. She is wielding an enormous gun that's significantly larger than she is, and she is bombarding her foes from a great distance. As you're imagining this, you also see Raven. And at first you think this is just kind of a vision that you're just imagining as you're thinking of this powerful new Armor Maiden card. But right before this vision ends, Raven seems to look at you and just see you, and kind of gives you a bit of a scowl. As you come back to yourself, you see this. And this is destroyed.
Hey!
Hello there.
Oh, looks like it worked. Huh. She's brings the card in closer for view, so that way they can see it.
On the outside, are we watching it like redigitize itself from and all that?
So dimensional instability is kind of just a weird warping in the world around it. But as she works to shape this card, it kind of condenses itself until it is in a shape of a card. And first it becomes card shaped, and then it becomes a warrior, and then you see the image, and then you see the effect text write itself.
So it's as if it printed itself on layer by layer.
Yes.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh. Holy
That was
shit.
interesting.
All right. That was a good clip.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, time to wrap it up, folks. So, Blaze, Connor, Nell, Sago, thank you for joining me in this interview stream.
Thank you all for.
Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having us.
I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If you enjoyed it, make sure to follow and subscribe if you like, all two, and make sure to check out Sago's and Nell's channels, the Cafe Arcadia and now Celestine, as there'll be more fun streams from them. Thank you for doing the shoutouts.
Doesn't look like it worked.
Hold on, let me try it. Oh, there we go.
You have to have mod status. So let's get Nell's first. And then we'll do mine. Because Nell is awesome.
Alright.
There we go.
So, once again, thanks for joining, everyone. I hope we all had fun. And we'll
Thank
be
you
doing
so much for inviting us.
Well,
Yep.
Thank you for inviting us, man.
Yep. And let's see who we can give a fun raid to.
Alma! Alma's playing Tetris. Go raid Alma.
Alright. Oops. /raid.
Yeah, Alma's playing Tetris. Oh, man.
Alma Tetris is always fun to watch because she's so good.
She's incredible at it. It's
Alright.
hard to look away from where Alma's playing.
Is it
Also,
like the Tetris
I'm gonna
99?
I'll have to
No,
steal
it's
her
Tetris.
hat at some point.
That's like a dual one.
Okay. I did the 99, which is the Battle Royale Tetris, because that.
Oh,
She did that for a while.
Alright, so the raid message is gonna be Vibe Raid. Since we've been vibing, everyone's been having fun. So,
Alrighty, vibrate.
thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see y'all in my next stream. And make sure to check out Nell's and Sago's streams when they do theirs. See y'all next time.
Have a great night.
Bye bye.
This is Luminar, and I'm heading out. Laters.